like to call the meeting to order, and we'd like to welcome all of you here this evening. Today is a very special day, the first day of school, so we feel very grateful that you still have the energy to come in for the meeting. If you would please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any changes, amendments, additions, or deletions to the agenda, board members?
No, ma'am.
Madam Superintendent?
I have one. The agenda was revised August 8th with the chair's permission to remove item 803.
Thank you, ma'am. We need to approve minutes from the school board workshop on July 15th, the regular school board meeting on July 22nd, and a special board meeting, public hearing, tentative budget meeting on July 29th, and an executive session for collective bargaining on July 29th.
So moved. Second.
It has been moved by Mr. Mathias and seconded by Mr. Dodd. All those in favor, let it be known by usual sign of aye.
Aye.
We have our union president, Ms. Kathy Smith, who's going to give us some comments.
Real quick, it definitely won't take 3 minutes. I just wanted to say the same thing. Welcome to the first day of school with students. It's been a while since I've been back in the classroom, but it is one thing when I miss the students. So it's every one of those things when it comes back, it comes around and, ooh, I miss the students. So it's nice to go back and watch and see what's happened all the time. So hopefully everybody enjoyed everything. I also want to say that just comment 11.01 that we are still talking with the district about some things that will come back later on possibly. And so we're progressing well on everything. So thank you and have a great first week.
Thank you. Mrs. Cullen?
Chairman, School Board Superintendent. Apple Marts opened last Wednesday, and we had 45 teachers come through, and we distributed $6,900 worth of supplies. We hosted the bookkeepers training and the Luncheon to Lake luncheon for our new teachers last month. Those were a lot of fun. We have distributed 1,500 backpacks with grade appropriate supplies to the elementary schools. Red for Ed weigh in on August 1st in the district parking lot in the driving rain, I might add, collected 2,981 pounds. And then we've picked up another 2,333 pounds for a total of 5,314 pounds. Advent Health is in the lead with 139 pounds. Dan Newland's office dropped off 100 stuffed backpacks, and Skansa donated 260 backpacks. We pick up from DACG tomorrow and Hillcrest Insurance. And this year we had a total of 95 companies out representing Red for Ed campaign. We have written for a $25,000 universal grant to fund art programs in our elementary schools, and we were awarded a $25,000 Disney grant that is allocated and earmarked. Dr. Luke, you'll love this, for the teacher intern program. We have notified our principals that Teacher of the Year, Rookie Teacher of the Year, and School-Related Employee of the Year nominations are going to be due again early this year on September 20th, and the applications are due October the 14th. Kurt Benny has started the auditing process, and we hope to have the certified governmental audit to the school board by October. Stepping Out for Education was a sellout and a huge success. We'd like to thank our celebrity dancers, Jessica Giannini, Dr. Mayan Hussein, Dr. Terry Pfister-Seuss, James Justin Linhart, Lydia Lise Rodriguez, and Captain Michael Martin. Hats off to our MCs, Mark Robert Swartz, Dr. Wade Winker, our student dancers from Leesburg High School and Lake Minneola High School, our returning stars, which two of you are up on the podium tonight, or the dais, and, of course, our pros. Top female Friday night was Jessica Giannini. Saturday night, Dr. Seuss. Top male both nights was Dr. Mayan Hussein. And our Mirabal winner is coming back to our district, Dr. Terry Seuss. Golf tournament is October 11th at Harbor Hills, and the Renaissance Fair is November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th, with Education Day being November 1st. Take Stock in Children kicked off the online application process on August the 1st. And the selection committee and the executive committee have vetted 65 applications for the director's position. The full board will be selecting the director. They've narrowed it down to 2, who will be presented to the full board on August the 28th, and the board will be making the selection at that time. And we are hopes to have the new director on board for the last quarter of the year so that I can work with them. Do we have any questions? No? Thank you.
No questions, but as always, thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
We have no unfinished business, but we have new business, consent agenda, business, and support items. Madam Superintendent?
Recommend approval of the consent agenda items 8.01 to 10.03.
So moved.
13, I'm sorry, 10.13.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by Mr. Matthias and second by Mrs. Luke.
Real quick before we vote, to be clear, that was removing 803
Yes.
that we did prior.
803 had already been removed, correct?
Got it, okay.
Any other questions or discussion? So it's been properly moved by Mr. Matthias and second by Mrs. Luke. All those in favor, let it be known by a usual sign.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. We are now at our discussion agenda. We have some public hearings. We have final approval of the 24-25 student progression plan. I'd like to open the meeting to a public hearing on final approval of the 2024-2025 student progression plan. Is there anyone in the public audience that would like to address these items? Seeing none, if you're sure, I will close the public hearing. Madam Superintendent, may we have a recommendation, please?
Recommend final approval of the 24-25 student progression plan.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved properly by Mr. Matthias and second by Mr. Brandyberg. If there's no further discussion, please vote using our usual sign.
Aye.
Aye, 5-0. We now have a public hearing on the final approval of the 2024-2025 Code of Student Conduct and Policy Guide. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak to this? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Madam Superintendent, may we have a recommendation?
I recommend final approval of the 24-25 Code of Student Conduct and Policy Guide.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Mr. Matthias and second by Mrs. Luke. If there is no further discussion, we will vote. All those in favor, let it be known by usual sign.
Aye.
Aye, 5-0. We will now have a public hearing on tentative approval of policies 1242, professional development, 2210, curriculum development, and 3242, professional development. Is there anyone in the public audience that would like to address any of these policies? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Madam Superintendent?
Recommend tentative approval of the 3 policies as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It has been properly moved by Mr. Matthias and second by Mr. Dodd. If there's no further discussion, please vote using our usual sign. Aye. 5-0. Madam Superintendent, may we have your report, please, ma'am?
Yes, first of all, there were 2 letters of condolence sent since our last meeting. First of all, to the family of Tony Tripp. He's the stepfather of Kelly Cousineau, the principal at Windy Hill Middle. and to Judge Terry Neal and the loss of her husband, John Neal. I also wanted to take a minute to recognize some outstanding business partners. Of course, we have so many, but they showed up and showed out big time for our teachers last week in all of our back-to-school events. I know we all had a chance to attend a number of those, and I just want to thank all of our local chambers and all the community partners that welcomed our teachers and our staff back last week. They were tremendous. And also part of that was I want to thank our local Disney representatives who Mr. Brandyberg and I had a chance on Friday to be at Treadway Elementary walking around with, yes, Mickey Mouse himself. It was pretty exciting. And they handed out to 50 teachers 2 Disney Park Hopper passes and a free parking pass just to welcome teachers back. It was a great way to spend an afternoon, just seeing the excitement on our teachers' faces. So thank you to our partners over at Disney. Also, I wanted to let you know that as a new school year begins, so does Friday Night Lights, and so we're excited for football season once again. We have a very special presentation this Friday when Lake Mineola plays Land O'Lakes. As you know, Lake County Sheriff's Deputy Bradley Link, who was killed recently in the line of duty, was a graduate of Lake Mineola High School in 2015. And on Friday, the Sheriff's Office Honor Guard will be presenting the colors at the game in Deputy Link's honor, and his wife will be present to receive a special gift from the school, and they've welcomed the public and the board to attend that. So thank you to Lake Mineola High School for that. And also, we had the opportunity to visit the NASA Visitor Center, where we were designated as a Florida Space Coast Academy School District. That's going to be a great opportunity for us to expand our aerospace and aviation programs in the coming years to really ensure that our students are able to develop the skills they need to contribute to the growing workforce demand in that area. So I just want to thank, we had out of the 21 districts that were named as with this designation, we had the most representation. So I was very proud of our community who showed up along with us on that day to be a part of the memorandum of understanding signing. We had some city and county leaders there, including representative from our county commission, as well as folks from our lake economic development groups as well. So I was already proud, but to just see the support from this community for this event was tremendous. It was kind of a long drive over there, and the fact that everyone drove over there for this event along with our entire CTE team was just very touching. So I just want to extend my thanks to them as well. So it was a great first day. Thank you, parents and community, for your patience as we work to get car lines moving quicker. Happens every year, and buses a little slower, but they will pick up the pace here shortly as everyone learns their routes and kids learn where their stops are. But it was a great day, and I just want to thank all our teachers, our faculty, staff, administrators for just an incredible job, and look forward to another 179 great days ahead and opportunities to change the lives of kids for the better. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Board member comments, Mr. Mathias?
Just very quickly, I just want to say that since our superintendent has been at the helm, I don't get phone calls, which is pretty amazing, nor emails. So your team does an outstanding job. And this week, the build up to the first day of school, with all of the community coming together to honor our teachers, I also just want to recognize the engine that keeps it running. Our bus drivers and maintenance workers and food service people, all of those, we are eternally grateful to all of you for the work you do for the benefit of our kids. And so let's just have another great 179 days. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Luke?
I'll just piggyback on that. I know Eustis Middle School hosted our Launch into Lake program, and it was after a couple of things shifted around, and Mr. Spencer was very, very appreciative of his staff as well for having the school prepared early, and on the last minute thing, he just couldn't, whenever I went to just check in on him, he just sung their praises about how hard his staff worked to make sure that school was ready, and that they could breathe actually a little bit more since it was ready a week in advance for the Launch into Lake event. And then I got the unique opportunity to go to Ignite along with some of the board members and the superintendent as well, and I wanted to give a huge shout out to Vanessa King at Treadway Elementary School. She organized along with the other principals in Region 2, and I'm sure she had some help from the Region 2 CNI team. That's not you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, they were all there. Mr. Feltner did a fantastic job doing an opening and really inspiring, and his walk-up song was one to be desired. So it was super fun, and the whole conference theme was Ignite, and so much fun to kick off a school year with that much energy and to see the teachers excited, and to be able to do some math again with teachers was super fun. So I was thankful for the invitation, but probably more so just to be a part of such a great event that brought those schools together. And then I got to go see Fruitland Park. Speaking to Fruitland Park's principal because of the practicum that's going to take place in the partnership with Lake Sumter State, and then she was like, "Do you want to see the school?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes." So we got to put our hard hats on, and DACG was so accommodating and walked us through the entire thing. The stairs had just gotten put in, so the principal hadn't been upstairs, but her vision for the colors, she's so excited. They're all very excited. She did share, like, she would recruit people like, "We get a new school, come." So super exciting to see where they've been and what they're getting, and it'll be great. It's on target to move in time. Like, they were really excited. So I was thankful for the opportunity and for Mrs. Brown and her assistant principal to kind of take me over there and tour me around at last minute. And then the last thing, obviously, we had all the back-to-school breakfasts where they just celebrated teachers in this community. To everybody's point, just really wraps around the start of the year. The sustainability will be fantastic. So thank you.
Yeah, I know the countdown has already begun in my household. 179. They told me when they walked in the door. But today, on this first day of school, I had the chance to go visit Lincoln Park's inaugural day, which was pretty exciting. When I had a chance to visit them, I had a chance to also talk to some kids. And one of the things I heard from every kid I spoke to is that when I asked them why they chose Lincoln Park over their zone traditional high school, they all talked about the environment there where they knew they would be able to get more focused attention, individualized attention. As they looked around the room and they saw the smaller class sizes that they were in, they just knew they'd be able to get the support of their teachers. And so I'm just thankful to this district for creating those sorts of opportunities. Some of these kids said that, they were nervous that they would be successful in their traditional school environment. And so this was a great opportunity to create an alternative one for them. So excited about that opportunity and can't wait to see how that grows. The last couple weeks have been an exciting time to watch in not only our district but around the world, right? So thinking about in our own district, attending the event there at Kennedy Space Center just made me just so proud to be part of Lake County. Superintendent, thank you to you and everybody who made that happen, because I just had no idea you'd been working at it for so long, like well over a year to make that come to fruition. So thanks for being so diligent about that. I'm just so intrigued at the number of opportunities that our kids will have that are truly unique. I'm sure it's making other counties envious. I'd already heard from some folks in other counties going, "Man, why weren't we on board? How'd that happen? How'd Lake do that?" So anyway, great, well done there. And huge thanks to the South Lake Chamber for hosting the breakfast that I had a chance to attend. Is Chad Farnsworth in the audience? Yeah, I think he had a very welcoming, spirited group there. Lots of energy. And so anyway, thanks for coming to enjoy that spirit. And, as I'm talking about all these things that are so exciting here in our district, we've also seen lots of excitement around the world, right? I don't know if you've caught any of this thing called the Olympics going on. Anyway, I keep tuning in and seeing all these gold medals and podiums, and I was really surprised because I felt like somebody from our own district probably should have been on those podiums getting a gold medal, and that would be Kelly Randall. Is she here? Yeah, there she is, yeah. So you're thinking, why would I deserve a gold medal? Well, anyway, kudos to you, because I know this has been a long road, but I don't know if you've heard, but we actually closed on an elementary site in Wellness Way. And so, Kelly, just thank you for being so diligent and persistent on that. I could see you got some chuckles here that the process has not been easy. And so anyway, thank you for sticking with that, because I was almost beginning to think I'd never see the day. But anyway, thank you for being so diligent. You deserve the gold medal for that. And now we can. Yeah, 2 gold medals for the high school. That's right. Yes, at least now we can move on to close that chapter and move on to the next one. But anyway, thanks for that work. Really appreciative and thankful for that.
Mr. Brandenburg?
Yeah, very busy day. I had the daunting task of going to all 9 of my Region 2 schools today. Started off early, knocked a bunch of them out in a small area, and then of course the Lady Lakes and the Treadways of the world spread that out a little bit. But a lot of great energy this morning. District 2, as I'm sure you all know, dominated the learning gains this past grading cycle, and we plan on doing that again this year. The students came back energized, the staff was ready to go, all the principals just had such amazing things planned today, and just really enjoyed being on campus today. One of those campuses being Rhymes Early Learning Center, where we have done some pretty significant renovations over the last 8 weeks, and a very, very big shout out to Chad Farnsworth, Dave Patterson Jr., Gary Rogers, Calvin Wingo, Shane Stevenson, and so many others that have worked tirelessly, and even more so over the last week or two, to make that place look like a campus again, because I tell you, probably Wednesday of this past week, it did not look like it was ready for kids, and today was in pristine shape. So Chad, thank you for the work you put into making that happen. We still have some work to go, but it was a very excellent day at Rhymes. Everyone else has hit on so many of these going down the list. The back-to-school breakfasts were great. Thank you to the Leesburg Chamber, the Mount Dora Chamber, or the Mount Dora Community Trust for their efforts. Disney World was a lot of fun last week with the superintendent. Laney, Dr. Scott, CIA, launch into Lake was fantastic. Thank you for all your work there. Dr. King at Treadway at Ignite. I did not get to stay for that. For the little bit that I was there, was a huge dance party that just kept never ending. Mr. Feltner had some moves that were pretty impressive out there, and I'm sure he gave a great speech afterwards. But Dr. King put a lot of effort into that event, and I know it was a huge success for Treadway, Fruitland Park, and Beverly Shores. And last but not least, wanted to echo the superintendent's comments on Master Deputy Bradley Link and his tragic death last week. I want to thank all of our school resource deputies, officers from our local city partners, safe school officers, and our administrative guardians that put their lives on the line every day to keep our students safe. I had the chance to attend the funeral Friday in Claremont, and it was the best part of society I can imagine. Driving down 27, you had every entity under the sun out showing support, and just a really momentous day for a very sad day. So I want us to always keep those folks in our prayers. Officer Corman in the back, what you do in our schools, thank you. We're very lucky to have the support we do. That's all I've got.
Well, I bring you greetings from District 4, home of the A school in Lake County, Mount Dora High School. You know, he's such a show-off, I couldn't let that go by.
You go after me, it's all right.
But we are proud of all of our schools and all of their learning gains and all of their grades. But I just couldn't let you get away with that. One of the things that always makes me really proud about being on the board is the way we come together, for whatever. And the first day of school is certainly one of those times when everyone is at their best. Today was no exception. Even the parents who called were kind. They said, we know it's the first day, and I assured them that we were on top of it, and I'm sure we will be. So again, we thank you. We thank everyone for all the things that they do to help make our district so very successful, and we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you. And if there's nothing further, we will adjourn our meeting.